Alright, so the Silence and the Fury announced trailer has come out. I will not be too terribly verbose or too terribly eloquent with my words here, I think, because I am incredibly exhausted. I just spent all day today moving into a new house, so the whole process of moving boxes out of trucks has been, I've been doing it all day. It's exhausting. So let's just get all that out of the way and go let's just watch it. I'm incredibly excited for the update that comes with this DLC, but the DLC itself, I mean, I'm happy to have more Beastmen and Lizardmen units, but the real cream of the crop here is Beastmen rework, finally make it where Beastmen are fun to play. Okay, so there was thoughts that was a Jabberslythe in there, in that cave. Let's see if it was true. Because that was the rumor I was seeing floating around. I think they're going to go with a silent trailer this time, a largely silent one. Let's turn the audio up nonetheless. Oxyotl investigating like a detective. Torox being Torox, the ultimate cornball, I guess. One is undoubtedly a new unit of super elite chameleon skinks. Kind of pointless, honestly. I mean, I get that all the budget for this DLC is going to be going into monsters, because holy shit. But yeah, chameleon skinks, like super chameleon skinks, are kind of a lame choice, honestly, for, okay, this is where the teaser ended. Super chameleon skinks are kind of a lame choice. The Jabberslythe! The Charlemans! It's here. Oh, yeah! Oh, there's the Super Chameleon Skinks. Yeah, from a strategic perspective, I don't see the point of them. But yeah, the Jabberslythe looks fucking sick. There's Torox. You see the Gorgon in the background. Okay. Troglodons. There we go. Pretty well as expected. There's feral variants and the Quaddle. And okay, so we see the Gorgon in action a little bit. Yeah, the Gorgon looks good. Now, let's see. We're probably going to have to, like, do some pausing and skipping around if we want to see what other units there are. I like the thing bouncing off of the old brass bull there. Got a fly in here, a very aggressive horsefly. There we go. Okay. Oh, a meme. Great. I don't know what that is. Some kind of YouTube thing. Twitter and YouTube are both trying to push the idea of short things because people just have that short of attention spans. Okay, so what we've got here, we've got Super Chameleon Skinks, we've got Troglodons with a Skink Oracle, who I assume is the new hero type for the Lizardmen. Lizardmen are finally up to 4 heroes. It was a little weird. They were the only Game 2 race that didn't have 4 heroes. Game 2 core race. There's the Quaddle. I was curious if the Quaddle would look like a dragon, and it kind of does. That which would have interesting lore implications that there are dragons still in Lustria, because I believe the Carnosaur. How did I am so exhausted. Any other day I've been able to think of the Carnosaur's name instantly. The Carnosaurs were supposed to have wiped them all out. Here we go. The Gorgon, the Jabberslythe. I am absolutely astounded. The Tuskor Chariot right here, which I assume we'll get a better look at later, but Crave Assembly probably isn't trying to hype up the Tuskor Chariot too much because it's actually supposed to be just a cheaper, shittier version of the Razor Gore Chariot. So, yeah. This is the craziest Lord pack. Torox and Oxyotl probably won't be too crazy themselves. Torox is just going to be Lubu from Three Kingdoms. Oxyotl, I don't know what's Oxyotl's story. But the crazy thing is 4 monsters in a single Lord pack. That is unprecedented, I want to say. Unless you count Razordons as a monster. But Razordons are pretty clearly a reskin of Salamanders. But then I guess Troglodons are clearly a reskin of Carnosaurs. Either which way, yeah, this is pretty nice. The Beastmen are going to be brought a lot closer to being viable here. Not viable, they were always viable. And I'm not even talking about multiplayer balance. What am I talking about? Shit, I am exhausted. The Tuskor Chariot is going to be nice for early and mid-game Beastmen armies because the Razor Gore Chariot is, from my 2 cents, one of the best chariots in the game. It hits like a fucking truck, but it's also pretty expensive. The Tuskor Chariot will fill in nicely until you can get Razor Gore Chariots more consistently. The Gorgon and the Jabberslythe are nice because they make the Beastmen a strong monster faction once they get to the upper end of their roster. which is nice. They shouldn't be keeping up with the big boys of Lizardmen, Tomb Kings, and Norska, but they should definitely be above vampire counts and maybe up there with greenskins, which I think they'll just about be up there now with them and minotaurs. Troglodons and Coatls are just kind of adding to the Lizardmen already having the strongest monster roster in the game right now. The Coatls are definitely very new because they are flying, and the Lizardmen haven't had any flying monsters. They have pterodons and riperdactyls, of course, but those aren't what I'm referring to. I'm referring to like a dragon type, which both races got here, because the Jabberslythe is probably going to end up being a dragon kind of monster. So for the Lizardmen, not huge changes. The Coatl is probably going to be along the lines of the Dread Saurian. I'm going to bet... I shouldn't make bets like that. Like, I'm thinking the Coatl being, it's kind of a rare symbol of Sotek thing, it's probably going to be a bit expensive as units go, so you won't see it very often. Like, the Dread Saurian is not a big change to the Lizardmen roster, because it's so expensive that you almost never bring it. The Troglodon, I'm not sure. It's probably going to be a weaker Carnosaur, but with poison, which can be an interesting change. The Skink Oracle on the tabletop, I think, was supposed to be the bigger change there, but I don't know that much about the Troglodon other than it spits poison. I don't know what role it had on the tabletop. And let's go ahead. The Super Chameleon Skinks, like I said, I can't see them being that big of a change unless they are like specifically like a stronger melee variant. Because, I mean, regular Chameleon Skinks are already really good at what they do. Regular Chameleon Skinks are already considered one of the best parts of the Lizardmen roster. It's not like they needed to be better. Excuse me. Now for the FAQ that came with it. The Silence and the Fury is the next, final, and best/beast Legendary Lords pack for Total War Warhammer 2. Best. Okay, I like that they're just out and out and saying it, okay. For Total War Warhammer 2, which I do have to commend them for having the balls to just straight up go with Lizardmen versus Beastmen, because, like, Lizardmen are fairly popular, but generally speaking, the Beastmen are the least popular race in the game, competing with maybe Norska. And for people who are not at all into Total War Warhammer 2 to begin with, generally speaking, people who... If you want the thing that goes the best in marketing, you gotta go with the most boring garden variety thing possible. And Lizardmen and Beastmen are both very unique. So I think it's very daring of Creative Assembly to do this. I'm incredibly happy with it. Let's see. So, Clamorous Horde... The Clamorous Horde of Torox's Beastmen will meet with the deadliest Lizardman Oxyotl can command. Only one can claim victory, and this is yada yada. Okay, each brings a host of new units, unique powers. Naturally, they sit alongside a hefty free update, which includes a quite awesome surprise. Mawsome surprise. Mawsome. The Dread Maw? There is definitely going to be a... It wouldn't be the Dread Maw. I don't know what it would be, though. Alright, so 2 unique legendary lords, Oxyotl, Torox, powerful new units and heroes for both the Lizardmen and Beastmen, including the mighty Jabberslythe and other monsters, flying snakes, blind monsters. Okay, so it's not even saying the units' names out now. There's also the massive free update coming at the same time, which includes a number of elements you'll learn more about below and over the next 24 hours. Weird. So I guess more news is coming out tomorrow, which now is not too far away. It's about 2 hours away for me. Alright, and the Steam page. I guess we can go ahead and open up the Steam page. Yeah, just real quick. Oh yeah, the internet here at this new place is not great. Okay, so let's see. Doombull Lords and Wargore Heroes. Both. Lord and Hero in the same DLC. It's not too huge of a surprise. The Shadow and the Blade came with both a Lord and Hero for the Skaven. But that is a pleasant surprise, because I was figuring... Because, like, the Beastmen were missing 2 Lords and 1 Hero. They were missing... The 2 Lords they were missing were Doombulls and Greater Bray Shamans. And the Hero they were missing was Wargores. And with these 2 right here, that implies that the free LC is going to be Greater Bray Shaman. Which is going to be really nice that the Beastmen are going to have all 3 of their Lord types and Hero types in that case. Let's see. Wargore Heroes. Just got, yep. Same thing as I would expect. The Tuskgore Chariot. High mass chariots drawn by ravening Tuskgores. These vehicles cause massive impact damage and disrupt enemy units they crash into, so it's a chariot. Gorgons, Jabberslythe, some Regiments of Renown. I don't care about Regiments of Renown, sorry. Okay, Skink Oracle Hero. There we go. So, wielding a hybrid mix of the lores of beasts, life, fire, and heavens. Interesting. So, I guess the question is what spells he takes. But, yeah, because that's taking the two lores that the Beastmen already get access to at a hero level and throwing in fire and life. Interesting. Chameleon Stalkers, yada yada. Oh, Shock Infantry? Okay, so Chameleon Stalkers are going to be like Skaven Death Runners, or... I can't think of another unit. Goblin Sneaky Skulkers, or Nasty Skulkers, there we go. Okay, that's actually different. I like that. That's cute. I like that. The Coatl, okay, the Coatl can cast spells and grant stalk to any friendly units below it? Oh, that's cool. I figured the Coatl would just be a regular old dragon. And it is seemingly not. It is apparently a super weird unit. I like that a lot. Interesting. So it's definitely supposed to be close to a dragon, isn't it? Which, I mean, would make sense. The old ones spared the dragons for a reason, so it would make sense that there's a type of dragon that gets along better with the lizardmen. Feral Troglodyte. I wonder if the Coatl is related to the celestial dragons of Cathay. That'd be interesting. Feral Troglodon. Hailing from the caves of Lustria, the Troglodon is a powerful venom spit ranged attack which causes a range of damage types and is effective against other large creatures. Okay, so it's an anti-monster monster with... It's a monster with an anti-monster ranged attack. Cool. Causes a range of damage types, though. What does that mean? Interesting. I guess we'll find out soon. Alright, there we go. Sounds of the Fury Basics. Sounds of the Fury will release on July 14th. It's on sale, yada yada. Okay, well this is all same news. There we go. And... I appreciate that. Area of effect attacks, debuffs, and... Okay, so the Gorgon and Jabberslice look like what I expect. Jabberslice's flying, and it's more of a crowd control monster. Gorgon is on foot, and hits like a truck, and will probably be an anti-monster monster. Okay. That is a sick screenshot right there. These Beastmen look a lot... That's the Wargore right there. That was probably the Wargore that in the trailer was mounted on the chariot. That may be the Doom Bull. Open image in new tab. Enhance! Okay, here we go. He's not carrying anything. That's the Doom Bull. So the Doom Bull is unarmed. Weird, okay. Torox, as well as benefiting from the Beastman redesign detailed below. Oh, we get to know about it today. Rampages through the land with the ability to rapidly move from battle to battle, defeating enemies, raising cities, and other acts of wanton destruction give him momentum, which allow him to rampage even further. A single turn for Torox can encompass many battles, raising of settlements, and blood flowing. Okay, so they're taking the Teto Echo thing of multiple moves in a single turn and going nuts with it. Okay. His other powers all enhance this, creating more and more power in a region as he serves the slaughter. He begins in the Obsidian Peak region at the western edges of the New World. So that's Nagaroth, okay? Yeah, I think one of the Crave Assembly devs said that they wanted to put a Beastman start in Nagaroth, so they got it. Oxyotl is a stealthier, but no, that is actually pretty good, come to think of it, because Marathi and Malekith have been picking up speed and beating the High Elves in every playthrough I've done in, like, the last half year, so something to mix it up and present a problem for them would be nice. Oxyotl is a stealthier but no less dangerous foe. He exploits and develops the silent sanctums that exist around the world, and his intimate knowledge of the machinations of chaos allow him to locate and battle threats to the natural order of things regularly. This makes him extremely mobile on the map, and he is never caught trespassing in enemy territory. That's an interesting new mechanic. Okay, that's just playing with the game mechanics there. Cute. Alright. As a natural enemy of chaos and the greatest of living skinks, he gains... Should they not apply that to hordes? At the very least, not to Nakai. They could probably give it to Grombrindle as well. Anyways, as a natural enemy of chaos and the greatest of the living skinks, he gains bonus experience fighting the former and is an expert at leading the latter. he can't. Okay, so he gets bonuses for skinks. I like that. I like that. There's already 2 skink legendary lords for lizardmen. Are there? Yeah, 2 skink legendary lords. And Tahena Wind already kind of focuses on skinks in general. And Teto Echo, no, Tic Tac Toe. There we go. I keep confusing him with Teto Echo somehow. Tic Tac Toe is, god damn, that name is stupid. Tic Tac Toe just specifically focuses on flying skinks. So I'm glad to see more skink stuff. I'm always glad to see encouragement to use unusual units. More details on both legendary lords and their unique mechanics, as well as the big upgrades coming to beastmen and dwarves. And dwarves. Okay, I know people have been bitching about the dwarfs and the state they're in now, but what do you mean, and dwarfs? Well, they definitely didn't get a rework. That would be crazy. It's probably just some buffs. Okay, what is in the free patch alongside the Silence and the Fury 1.12.0? There will be 2 major parts of the free patch that lands with the DLC. Updates for the Beastmen and smaller but still significant changes to one more faction you'll find out about tomorrow. Well, didn't they just say dwarfs? One more faction you'll find out about tomorrow. Dwarfs. The Beastmen update will keep their destructive horde nature, but allow them to temporarily settle down in a region around a horde stone. Thank God. Just get rid of the horde mechanic. This forms the central theme of Torix's campaign to appease chaos. Not to say that the horde mechanic is just inherently bad. It's just that with the way Warhammer does things, I don't think it works as well. The Wood Elves, I thought, made a pretty good step towards getting that way. Where they don't do the whole settle everywhere thing unless they want to. For the Beastmen, I think placing down shitty herd stones in every settlement, I think, is the right way to do things. Because it not only gives them, like, it allows them to prevent people from resettling their shit, because it leaves a garrison more than likely, but it also gives them... Well, for one thing, it allows them to not die instantly the moment they lose a horde anymore. Oh, fuck. I just karate chopped that fly and its intestines flew all over my finger. Oh, ew, the flies are big out here. I don't like that. Okay, this forms the central theme of Torix's campaign to appease chaos, but all Beastmen factions will be able to interact with them. Once the land around a herdstone has been raised and harvested for all the slaughter it can offer, the Beastmen will move on, leaving true destruction in their wake. Oh, okay, so it's a settlement that stays there while they, like... So it's now like long-term raising where they just harvest resources from a settlement after they take it for a while and then burn it? I don't know. We'll see you back here tomorrow and we'll talk about a new dwarf legendary lord. Mercenary reinforce... No. No, they wouldn't just drop dogs of war like that, would they? Ooh. And a new Beastman Lord. By the way, yeah, I got spoiled on the new Dwarf Legendary Lord this morning. I woke up and immediately saw someone messaging me on Steam through my phone. Hey, the Dwarfs are getting a new free LC Legendary Lord. And I was like, okay. Fuck, well, I guess that won't be a surprise. I'm not too worried about getting spoiled, but it is neat doing it on recording. Mercenary reinforcements. Okay, so... Big Beastman rework, dwarf buff, possibly a small dwarf rework. They don't need a big one. That's the thing. Creative Assembly did the reworks in order of how much a rework was needed, which is why dwarfs and vampire counts went first, because they came out the best from Warhammer 1. But the Empire, Greenskin, and Wood Elf overhauls, reworks, were all so phenomenal that dwarf and vampire count players started going, suddenly the dwarf and vampire counts don't look so good, which I think is fair. But the sentiment starting to show up of vampire counts and dwarfs being a higher priority than the beastmen was absolute nonsense. Because the beastmen... The Wood Elves fucking sucked, right? Creative Assembly put the beastmen at a higher priority... said the beastmen are more fucked than the Wood Elves. And don't get me wrong, people still have fun with the beastmen. in the current state. I don't know how, but they do. But, like, they had no campaign mechanics except for ones that just actively held them back, which I understand that works for making the Beastmen difficult, and Beastmen should be somewhat difficult more than the other races because they've got so much working against them. But at the same time, there should be stuff going for them that makes them fun to play, too. A challenge campaign is all good and well, but it's more interesting when the challenge is fun. Like, let's say, Skarsnik, right? Where the challenge is you can only work with goblins, and you're pretty far away from all your allies. Whereas just making the challenge come from the campaign mechanics actively working against you feels a little less fun. New Dwarf Legendary Lord. For a free LC one, I'm going to go ahead and wager that the free LC, if they want to do a free LC Dwarf Legendary Lord, do Joseph Bugman. Because they can't do Joseph Bugman for a DLC Lord pack because the guy is all about Rangers, and Rangers are already part of a Lord pack that came out. Do Joseph Bugman now for the free LC. Then in Warhammer 3, do a DLC of Dwarfs versus, I don't know, whoever. With, let's say, Grim Burlickson, because he represents the Engineering Guild. And do the fucking Thunder Barge and whatever else. But yeah, I guess I'll have to record another video tomorrow, because apparently that's where all the major info has been left to. That's the risk you take when you do these kind of videos. I'll probably have more to say about all this, though. But I am interested to see what they mean by all this Herdstone business, because this sounds cool, and I am incredibly hyped. Because the Wood Elf rework, I'm going to be honest, for my 2 cents, the Wood Elves are the best race in the game right now from a campaign perspective. They are so much fun. I fucking loved my Durthu playthrough I did when that update released. And now that I am again in a position where I can play PC games, I am very tempted to start up a Orion or Sisters playthrough. But I hear good things about Draika. With that said, with that belched, God, I am disgusting. With that belched, it gets more stupid every time I say it. Thanks for watching the video, I guess. Hope you enjoyed it. See you around, I guess.